Hold on. I'm
You see me?
recording. I see you, brother. You are deep. Look how big you still are.
Let me get my fucking head right, dude. I gotta see. I gotta have my specs on. Sorry.
You look like a million goddamn. How thick are you still?
Yeah, I'm thicker than I should be.
You're a goddamn monster still.
I'm like a big slab of bologna.
Oh, you're like what did I once heard, like a sweaty log, right? You're like a big log that sweats.
Exactly.
Look at this. I'm by the lake because you go by the Gators.
Where are you at, man? Where are you at? In Orlando?
Yeah, I'm by my townhome complex. That's Lake Deborah. Remember Metro West, Hiawassee,
Yeah.
that Publix?
Yeah.
Right. The Publix is right there.
Okay.
Holy shit. I have been dying to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. So are we on? Is this?
Oh, yeah.
is
I'm
this
recording
it?
everything.
So what do you do now? You just put it online, or is there people watching now, or no?
No, it's not live yet. I'll edit it. But most likely this will go on my podcast. I'm also going to share it on my YouTube page.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of go all over the
How
place.
do I get on your YouTube? It won't let me go in there like normal YouTubes.
You just got to put my name, and all my videos should be there. If you have a Gmail account, you could subscribe.
I can see your videos. I just can't like them or nothing. And when I do, it says that I have to. I don't know what I have to. What it
I
says.
think you got to get a Gmail account or some shit, don't you?
I have one.
I don't know. Maybe you're settings.
I got it all, bro.
What the fuck?
Fucking technology, it sucks, don't it?
Well, let me tell them real quick how we know each other. Well, I knew you before I think you knew me because of the gym we worked out when I was much younger. We were working out at we were on Curry Ford over there in the mid-'80s.
Body Masters.
So I used to see you there, but you didn't know me, and I don't think you recognized me. I was just a scrawny kid. But then later as time went on, I think when we both joined World Gym on 436. But I think first I used to see you in nightclubs, if you remember. You, Jimbo, and Miguel, right?
Yep.
And then we put two and two together. We'd see you in the club, and then I'd see you at World Gym. We more connected in the club scene than we did in the
I'm just trying to get my volume.
It's all right.
I'll get better.
It's all right.
So yeah, I'm not sure if it was in the gym or in the clubs, but either way, it all came together, didn't it?
It did. Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So we were city guys, and then we were hanging out with you, which were,
rednecks.
Oh
yeah.
So, the last time I saw you was Thirsty Gator.
We mixed, man, pretty good. I think we did back then.
I did too. I think we're both really acceptance of one another. We would be,
all the boys, really.
Yeah, no shit. It was a great time, man. We could, like I said, we couldn't have been much different. And the last time I saw you, which was, I think, Thirsty Gator on Goldenrod.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. See how time flies, man, when you get older?
We got to hang out, man. I'm telling you, whenever you want, you let me know. I'll come to you, whatever we got to do. I'm down with it.
I'm ready. We usually get together, all the boys, at least once a year. It's hard for me sometimes because I got 3 kids that I'm raising. And, me and their mother split 50-50. So, and plus my job, I just can't just up and like I used to. So, but yeah, we all need to get together.
Yeah.
If not for a big hoopla out on the town, dinner or something. I know you like to frequent some good places that I'd like to check out too.
Yeah, for sure.
I love to eat.
I see Miguel obviously a lot still.
Yeah.
I kept in touch with a lot. And then he's obviously working at Joe Spaghetti's office in the real estate. So I see him there as well. And then we just.
Oh, is that who he's with?
Yeah. Well, he works his regular job, and then he's been working the office downtown Remax by Lake Eola.
Okay.
So we go for pizza, and then he surprised me. My mother had a 50th surprise birthday party, which was pretty amazing. And then I walked in, and Miguel was even there, which was crazy.
Yeah, cool.
So I see him pretty often. I have not seen Jimbo since the old days, or Ant, or any of those
He's
guys.
the same. He's the same. Ant-Man lives in Georgia. But Jimbo's still on the east side of town, and I think him and Miguel are neighbors, pretty much, kind of, sort of.
That's
Jimbo
cool.
is the athletic director out there at one of the high schools. So
That's awesome.
I can't see, man.
That's all right. Let's get into exactly what the hell you do, because people, I don't even think, when I tell them about you, I mean, you are legit the alligator hunter. Wait, what? Crocodile hunter, whatever the hell you want to say. What
Whatever.
exactly is that? Is you do that for a living?
Yeah. So I've been doing it for 20 years now, man. And I actually contract off of the state. I'm a nuisance alligator trapper. I cover all of Seminole County and the southern part of Volusia County. I cover all the way to the ocean on the east side and all the way to Lake County on the west side. So it's a big area. And we handle all of the problem alligators, man, that come in people's yards or backyards or swimming areas or whatever. And we do about 500 a year, so we stay busy. That's over, a gator a day if you look at it that way. So
Wow.
I did concrete. Now I did construction for 30 years, 35 years.
That's how I remembered you.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
this is what was my dream job, and I got it, and I've been doing it now for nearly 20 years.
You're on the news. Somebody, my
Yeah.
neighbor, I was just walking by saying I'm going to talk to my buddy Jerry Flynn, and I think he's heard you on the radio.
Yeah,
Have you done
I've done it all. Especially when there's attacks or a dog gets killed, the media eats that alive, man.
Really?
It's a shame, but they do. Yeah.
Did
And
you
they
have?
all have me. They all have me in their phones, and they call me right up, and then we do interviews, and they do their stories and stuff like that.
Were you involved with the Disney situation when the child got dragged in? Did you have to go hunt him? Was that you?
I'll tell you what. They were exhausted out there trying to find this kid and that alligator. So they called me, and we were on our way. And I was talking to the head guy out there, and I told him, I said, look, that gator didn't take that kid too far, because it was only a 7-foot gator. I said, he's got to be right there somewhere. So yeah, in a matter of 30 minutes, as I was on I-4, they called me back and said they found the child.
And how'd they get the gator? Did you get him, or did someone else?
No, another trapper caught him. Yeah.
I gotcha.
The guy that covers Orange County caught him. But yeah, we were actively involved, headed that way. Now, we did catch a couple years ago the guy that was attacked and killed in Blue Springs while he was swimming. I got that one. I got the alligator that was involved in the attack in Wekiva that tore the lady's arm off.
Yeah.
We actually pulled the arm out of the gator's belly after we caught it and gave it to them to try to put back on, but they couldn't. So we've been involved in a lot of high profile attacks. The Seminole County area covers about 30 miles of the St. Johns River.
Right.
And it's full of alligators and full of people.
Yeah.
So, sometimes they don't mix.
What's the biggest gator or crocodile? What's the biggest you ever caught? Because I saw on Facebook that one that looked like it was 18. What is it? 18. I don't even know how many feet. 10, 20, or 18 feet or something.
No, the biggest one that I've ever caught is 13.9, and I got a picture of it right
Well,
here.
it looks like it's as tall as a tree. I can't tell by the photo. Absolutely crazy.
See it right there?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know how tall that damn thing was.
Yeah, 13.9. Now, I caught this in the backyard of a county commissioner's yard. That was this gator was eating his goats and cows and stuff. Now, the state record is like 14 foot, 4.5 inches, I think. So everybody that says there's a 16-footer, 18-footer out there or the record, that's false. The state record is only 14 foot.
You almost beat it.
Yeah, well, right where I caught that one, the state record was caught. It was 14 foot, 5/8 of an inch in Lake Monroe, and it held for like 10 years, but it was caught close to where that gator was caught.
That's crazy. What's that clicking noise? I'm hearing a clicking noise. You hitting the desk?
You never know, man.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm hearing. I'm like, what the hell is he doing over there? So now, wait.
Hey, at least you still got your hearing, right?
I do. Now, do you hunt the boars too? for safety,
Yeah.
or is that personal again?
Well, I used to trap them for myself. Was a little side business. I trapped them out of people's yards and stuff. And you know, they're a major problem in Florida. Major problem. Because when they move in, brother, they tear a place apart.
That's crazy.
So I got the contract when Celebration out by Disney was just being built. They had a nice common ground area they put together, and one night they came in and destroyed it. So they called me out there, and we trapped there for probably a year. But they're a problem, man. The mothers have, you know, 2 or 3 litters a year with sometimes 20, 30 babies.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they destroy it, because once a hog comes in and roots the ground up,
Yeah,
you can't fix it unless you have machinery come in there and fix it. It's just destroyed. So, and you know, as much as Florida's building now, all the wildlife's running out of room.
yeah, that makes sense. Is it hard or easy, honestly, to catch gator? What's the whole like? How does that work with you?
Well, for me, it's kind of easy. The average guy that hunts
Yeah,
during the hunt and the latter part of the year, they're more sports oriented, so they have to use hooks and whatnot, catching them maybe with you know, snatching them with fishing rods. We can set baits with hooks in them, and the boys that do it cannot. So like today, I went out and set several hooks at people's houses and just left them there, and I'll go back and check them in the morning. So we're a lot more laid back as far as the rules for us.
yeah, of course.
But you know, once you get there, man, it's on.
Now, I had a buddy that owned a bar, and he used to hunt gators. He was a professional hunter, and then he sold so much gator when it was gator hunting season or whatever that was.
Yeah.
He would sell a lot of it, and he made a lot of money actually hunting. But there was I don't even know if there was a limit back then, because at one time I think they just wanted people to hunt them. Is that still the case?
Well, when it first started, probably 30 years ago almost, they allowed 15 gators per person.
Okay.
And they dropped it down to 5. So all they can get now are 5 gators per person. And let's see, in '08, when it crashed, the year before it crashed, we were getting $60 a foot for an alligator hide.
I got you.
So that's $6 right there for a 10-footer. And then after you sold the meat, it was a pretty good life, man, no doubt.
Yeah.
After the '08 crash, you know, the alligator hide business, which most of it ends up overseas, you know, for high dollar, you know, luggage and purses and all the wallets and stuff.
Sure.
You know, after the '08 crash, you know, it just kind of fell apart. The mom and pop tanneries and the craftsmen, they were the backbone, just like, you know, just like small businesses now.
Sure.
A lot of them went out. So the alligator hides since then have crashed and really went bad. And plus some of the, you know, the Louis
Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. Yeah.
Right. But the Vuittons and the other big brands, they're switching a lot to caimans, which is a kind of an alligator. Gotcha. Caimans and crocs and stuff like that. So and the farmers are doing well, and it also puts a hurting on wild alligator hides, because you know, when you get a wild alligator hide, it's got some defects in it.
Sure, it's going to be damaged, right?
Yeah, whether it's fighting or a leech hole or whatever. So when they grow these in a farm, they're basically perfect hides. And if they grow bigger gators, 6-8 foot for the luggage, that puts a hurting on ours. Because when you pay $3,000 and $4,000 for a purse or a piece of luggage or something, 90% of the people want flawless hides.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
so
shoes,
nobody
boots.
wants a big scar across it or something like that.
Maybe Schwarzenegger or somebody with his boots. Someone like him.
Yeah.
I love that you've been posting on Facebook and everywhere about, well, you're not saying this, but you're like lazy pieces of shit out there, like going through the coronavirus, people going back to their roots. And if you want to eat, learn how to hunt again, go fishing, go hunting. Like, you know what I mean? don't sell yourself short. There's a lot of opportunity out there to save money, to kind of do what a lot of us did in our past, which is kind of like what I just said. I wasn't a hunter, but even fishing, like I said, or doing whatever, there's ways obviously to save some money and also get a lot of fresh food. I mean,
Yeah, we're avid hunters. I've been a hunter my whole life, even though back in the day it might not have seemed like it. But when the clubs closed and the gyms closed, I was always in the woods or always on the pond fishing.
right.
So now, I've taught my kids that, and that's our lifestyle.
It is.
We
It's
get out.
incredible.
Yeah, we get out in the woods, and actually, this quarantine that everybody's having to adjust to right now
Yeah.
is a breeze for us.
Right.
Because
This is your lifestyle.
I'd rather be away from everybody. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? In the friggin' woods, or on the pond, or in the ocean, and it's no big change for us. We have a freezer full of beef because I raise cattle. We have
Yeah.
a freezer full of deer meat. We have a freezer full of fish. And that's the way we live. We buy very few meats from the store unless we have to. And you know what? Now it's a problem for most people,
Right.
because of the shortage, because of the people hoarding, because of the people going nuts out there. And we're all set. Now, who's to say that it might change?
Yeah.
And we might have to protect ourselves someday because of this, because I have chickens. And the people up above my house here, worst case scenario, and things get bad, they hear them chickens crowing and stuff, they might come looking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I think also this quarantine, I think it's happening also. I think there's some good coming out of it, where families can get together and sit down and play board games.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and have dinner together and
Yeah.
have some good fucking conversations, man.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at this phone, where everybody's in their own little world. And maybe they'll get out and start doing something
Yeah.
in the woods, even if it's walking with your kids or your grandkids.
Absolutely. Enjoying
And if
Mother
you're
Nature.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and if you're
Absolutely.
lucky enough, if you're a kid and you're lucky enough for a grandpa or a parent to stick a fishing rod in your hand, then that's the best thing that could ever happen, in my opinion. I mean, it's the best, no doubt. Now, I don't knock anybody for doing what they do
Sure.
at all, but technology has really ruined us. And I mean ruined us big time. Every way, shape, or form you can look at. And if someone can get out and in the wild and take a walk,
Yeah.
or go by the lake,
Yeah. And
get
enjoy
out
each
there.
other's company, right? Not always looking.
Exactly.
It's not
Yeah.
always about looking on the phone and reaching
Yeah.
out to somebody else when you have somebody right there in front of you,
Yeah.
or being more
Exactly.
interested in others except the people you're around, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yep. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think when it clears out, and it'll clear out, I just hope that people have learned a little bit from this, that you know love thy neighbor or help thy neighbor. I have two neighbors out here, and we help each other big time.
Right.
And
That makes sense.
that's awesome. And I have nieces and nephews that are on the phone with me constantly now, wondering, hey, they call me Uncle Bubby. Uncle Bubby, what do we do here? How do we get some chickens? How do we grow this? How do we grow that? And most of this stuff that I do has always been a hobby since I was a little boy. I've had chickens my whole life.
Crazy.
And back in the day, I didn't have them. I lived in an apartment or whatever.
Yeah. Well, of
Yeah,
course.
I have chickens. We have plenty of eggs. I have vegetables because I grow them. It's all been kind of a hobby that my grandmother instilled in me when I was a young boy, and now here we are, man. And you can't even go in the store and find a freaking head of lettuce hardly anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Especially,
So
some areas like Naples, I heard that too. They have no meats. They don't even have bread. They don't have anything.
yeah,
Certain areas of Florida, it's crazy.
it's crazy. It is. It's crazy. Now the mom and pop stands on the sides of the roads,
Yeah.
they're doing well, and they're empty really for a lot of their products. But yeah, I think honestly that when it goes, that everybody's going to be a little bit closer, just like 9/11, when everybody was all close
good
and everything.
point.
I just hope
That's
it
a
don't
really good
wear off.
point.
I just hope it don't wear off as fast as 9/11 did, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. I think so. I'm 100% agreeing with like people coming together, because we've been spending more time obviously at home, and I have my girlfriend, her kids, and we've just been, even watching a movie together instead of maybe,
Yep.
Not everyone doing things together, but they're kind of burnt out on all the other shit inside of doing what they're doing. So he's tired of video games or she's tired of the phone. You get together just to communicate or have a dinner all together, which a lot of us didn't do that. I was traveling or someone's at the gym or all those different things, which
When I have my kids over at my house, we have 50-50 custody. When I have my kids at my house, we eat every single night, whether we go and get takeout or whether I cook. And 90% of the time I cook, we sit down and have dinner, whether it's in front of the TV or at the table. We say our prayer and give thanks to our God for our food, and we ask that everybody in our family, is good to go and everything. We're not Bible thumpers, but I believe, and I want my kids to believe, they have the choice to down the road to do what they want. But anyways, and then we sit there and have our dinner and talk, watch a little TV, get nuts a little bit and have a good time. I definitely believe in that. If I don't do anything else right, we're going to sit down and have our dinner, and we're going to discuss our days, and we're going to watch a little TV, and we're going to have a civil conversation.
Yeah,
that gets heated sometimes.
Of course. Now your oldest son or your two sons, right? They're hunters like you, correct? Are they more advanced than you were at their age? Or how's that work?
My oldest is the hunter. He's 18 now. And my daughter and my other son, my daughter's 15 and my other son is 11.
Gotcha.
Imagine that. Old man with young kids. But you know what? I wouldn't have changed it for the world, man. As nuts as we were back in the day.
You're fine. So, that's awesome.
So now I have kids, and they've bettered me, thank God. They were raised around it. They were raised in the middle of it. They were raised doing it. Every time we go to the Keys, we're in the middle of the ocean, fishing. But I will say that I'm not sure if it's going to stick with them. And I know they like it, but I'm not sure, especially my daughter, if it's really for her.
Right.
But since they were born and with their mother and all, I told her, I said, look, let's don't force these kids. We were always athletes. I was the best when it came to wrestling at my high school. Yeah. I was a 4 Letterman starter at high school and junior high. I played every sport I could to get a letter, and I excelled in everything. But I told her, and we came to an agreement not to force them into anything that they did not want to do. So I know I haven't. I just want my kids to be happy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be lovable and caring towards others.
Yeah.
And not a fucking idiot like their dad.
Yeah.
You know?
And have the decision if they want to hunt, they don't have to hunt it. If they do, they have the necessary skills to do that. I was raised around family members that were hunters, fishermen, and all that.
Yeah.
And truthfully, my dad once took me fishing once, and he said, "This is not for you." It was kind of funny. And I even once went to Branson, Missouri to go hunting. And first we just went bunny or rabbit hunting, and a rabbit came out, and I had like a little 22. I shot it. It got away. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I would have been devastated if I shot it. I was like, that's it. Because my step uncle, he hunts like you do, but those big elks and the heads and
he must be from. Is he out west or
Missouri?
Out west?
Missouri, Branson, Missouri,
awesome.
Forsyth, Missouri.
Awesome.
Yeah, he rides horses and does the whole thing. And he's not in the military, but he runs the blimps for the military. So he goes overseas and he's involved with that. But I never was really into that. And what's funny, your kids, I look at your kids, I'm like, my kids are professional tourists. I always said they're Disney kids, Universal kids. And one time, because I don't go camping or do anything, I'm a piece of shit. A family invited us to go camping once. And my oldest daughter says, I'm sorry. Me and my father, we don't do things like that, like go outside into the woods. And I'm like, you are an ass. It hit me in the head. Like, is this the way they think? Like, it's that, like they thought it was bad to go do those things, which I know it's not. I even went to religious summer camps in Wisconsin. Yeah. I never gave them that other option, if that makes sense. Yeah. They're so used to restaurants and living a tourist lifestyle. But I love that you kind of balance that, in my opinion. I think that's an amazing thing.
Well, we've done all that too. I mean, my kids, we've been to Disney, we've been to everywhere, rodeos, we've been to Universal. But you know, the funny thing about it is I can ask them now, hey, remember Universal when we went? And they're like, no. So it's like until your kid, they were young, until your kid gets to be about 6 or 7 years old or 8 sometimes. Don't waste your time on them parks, man, because they won't freaking remember them.
Mine had year passes for 15 years. They still do. To Universal, Disney, all that. They're literally.
You know what, man? But that's awesome. At least they're doing something, you know?
Yeah, I looked at that as exercise, too. I'm not kidding. A lot of steps, especially when they were younger. And my youngest daughter with the liver transplant. Now my oldest daughter has type 1 diabetes. So I want them a lot to deal with more fitness, being outdoors, trying to install maybe more of that. Where we were kind of more raising them, I was malls, restaurants, parks, hotels.
Yeah, well, look how much the times have changed with nutrition and diet. I mean, when we were kids and we ran constantly, had our shirts off outside, and you know, people were always, when I was coming up, you know, like we were in our bodybuilding or workout days, it's like, well, you can't be out in the sun and all this, you're gonna get this and that. And now look, vitamin D from the sun is the best thing you can get.
It's good,
more than any other vitamin out there, really, you know.
It gives you spots like me on my forehead, though. Hey, too much sun, what are you gonna do?
Put a hat on.
That's what I do. I've had it on all day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for talking to me, man, about this stuff. It's awesome. I was going to get into the last thing actually, but what type of like guns and stuff are you using are you crossbow, or are you using guns, or like, I know you always have knives.
Well, you know,
all this different
every state has a category for hunting. And the first one that starts out around September is bow. So we hunt bow from September 15th until like October is bow season. So we use bows. I use a crossbow now because they're so awesome. You know, they're just like a damn rifle now. And then after that becomes, it's called muzzleloader, which is primitive weapons, where you have to actually load your gun with black powder like they did back in the day, and then pack it, and then also put a bullet in it and pack that in. That goes for about, 2 weeks. That's called muzzleloader. And then awesome. The last season is rifle or pistol or whatever. You can hunt with rifle, and that's what we do that also. So yeah, we hunt everything possible to get in the woods the very first crack of whether it's September 15th or whatever, that we're in the woods regardless of what we're using.
Have you been to Alaska or any places like that? Canada?
No, it's on my bucket list.
No shit.
That Montana.
Yeah, I've been everywhere in North America, every major city except Montana. That's funny you said that, but Jerry, I think you'd love Alaska.
Yeah, I know I would. I probably wouldn't want to come back.
No, I think that would be the spot for you.
My nephew was stationed there, man, and he told me so much about it that I was like, I'm ready to go right now, man. Because I don't do good in big cities. I don't do good anywhere anymore, man. I don't like to be around. I don't like to be around people or nothing. It seems anymore, you know.
It's massive, but there's a lot of beautiful spots all over North America for hunting.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to visit so many of them, but nothing was really like Alaska, and even Canada for the most part is really like very similar, obviously landscape.
We hunt up the eastern coast all year. We go to Georgia. We have a trip to Virginia.
Oh, nice.
But never have been out west. The main reason is I hate to fly, man.
I know a lot of people do. Yeah, that's a long flight to Alaska. It's almost like going to Europe from here, and I'm not exaggerating. It's a long trip. When you get there, it's just amazing because everything is just such on a massive scale. And they're even showing, like, in the airport, like, I didn't go outside. I went and I was going to malls there and going to restaurants, hanging out, and Barnes and Nobles and shit. I felt like the biggest jag-off. You got guys on snow machines. I went to a hardcore gym there, which, thank God, I kind of held my own there a little bit. Playing old school rock and roll. You got to drop your boots and all your clothes, your snowmobile suits, everything you drop off at the door a lot of times, or at least your pants and boots. You would have loved it.
50 below.
It feels like it's the 80s there. I went in January. There's snow constantly. You have to have when you rent a car there, you have to rent it equipped for the season, which, you could even, with the metal snow tires, all that stuff. But it's like a winter wonderland. You go crazy there, man. I just
that's one. We tried to do a RV trip to Montana, but that's got to be at least minimal 2 weeks because it's probably a 5-day drive.
Yeah,
and stopping along the way. But that's one place that I definitely want to go is Montana, man. Big sky, no doubt. I'd actually like to live there if it wasn't so far from, here where my kids are with their mother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was my plan. That was my plan, man, back in the day, was I was going to take $5,000 and my 3 dogs and take off to Montana and just do whatever. And when the money ran out, I was going to come home.
Yeah.
And then my first kid came along, and that was it.
What's the name of that tune?
Dick.
Now you got to make him pay for you going now. When he makes some money, you say, you owe me some bread.
Yeah, he wants to go, and I think, honestly, he'd like to take me one day when he gets rich, hopefully. But, yeah, that's one trip that I definitely – if I could get drunk enough and get on a plane, which could happen, then I think I'll be all right.
Well, like I did to Miguel when I got him smashed at his bachelor party, and then I hijacked him and we took a charter to Vegas. Or no, we went to Atlantic City that time.
Yeah.
We got to do the same thing with you going there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Montana, we just got to get you drunk. Say, come on. You don't even know. Remember when I threw him on a plane, he had no idea where he was going.
Yeah, when I talk to the guys and you and all, man, every time we start talking, because like when I talked to you about the hotel in Orlando this year that we went down to see that concert, when you said, yeah, that's what we
Oh, the bachelor party, we took that whole suite.
Oh my God. That's when we had Miguel's bachelor party. I'm like, holy shit, that's where it happened, man.
I got that double-decker suite. That thing was like 10,000. We own that.
Oh, man.
We had 100 people there.
Oh yeah, it was and it was like back in my mind forever, but when you said that, it clicked, and I'm like, holy shit, what a night, man.
We took over that town.
But you know what? Back in the day, man, I was going to say this, back in the day when we were all hanging out and we would go to clubs, and we definitely weren't the tallest guys, but we were all the widest guys when we walked into these places. Well, we all were, man.
Yeah.
But when we walked in these places, it was like fucking Moses came in or something. People would part apart, and we'd blow up in there and get right on the down bar, man, and start ordering drinks and own that place, man. And you know what the funny thing about it was? It was like, I'd ask them at the end of the night, hey, what do we owe, man? We want to square up with you. Don't worry about it, or $6 or whatever. But we always jacked the tip up on them and got them right. And they loved us, man. And it was just so awesome back in them days. I wish that, I wish one day we could, go back in time for one night.
For one night. You know what was great?
One night is probably all we could handle.
I was telling Joe Pins this because, a lot of short Italians, and I'm like 5'10", but a lot of you guys were short, even Joe, whatever. But Miguel was 6'3" or 4.
Yeah.
Whenever we would
throw it out like a turd in a punch bowl, man.
All I used to say was, look for Miguel, look for Miguel. And then we would find Miguel, and we knew the whole group was there.
Yeah, or listen for that stomp on the floor.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He was stomping with the big dogs.
Oh, man, it was
Cuban.
great times.
They were. All right, brother. Thank you so much. I want to get this. I think this thing wraps up in 40 minutes. I get 40-minute increments. I want to get you again, maybe tackle some other subjects regarding different stuff, some adventures that you went on I think would be unbelievable regarding all your different hunting stuff that you've done throughout the years. Besides what you told me, I'm sure there's a ton of cool stories.
Yeah, when you get time, man, come out and go with us, man. We'll take care of you. We'll protect you.
I gotta go check that out. That would
With
be
that
whack.
fucking rod and reel in your hand.
I gotta YouTube that. Just me being in the woods with you would be hilarious.
Oh man, you'd love it. Trust me. Just not necessarily killing stuff, but just being out there and after the hunt, cooking a big breakfast and fellowshipping, if you call it, around the fire, bullshitting and raising hell.
That'd be amazing.
I don't drink never anymore. Every now and then I will when I go out, but we just have a good time. And the main reason is I never wanted my kids to pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
Plus,
course.
I hate feeling like shit for 2 days after I drink. You know what I'm saying? Because it kills me for 2 days, man.
Yeah, no, I know. I said it doesn't wreck. It wrecks me for 3-4 days, man. Not even getting drunk. I'm talking, but like I don't feel the next day shot. The next day,
everything you did that whole week, man.
Oh man,
when you work out and stuff, and your nutrient, everything's washed out. When back in the day, now when me and Jimbo would train, we would train every day. And sometimes we would train like 10 o'clock at night and eat when we were done. Of course, we had freaking metabolisms that rocked back then.
Absolutely.
And then we would go out on the weekends. When I think about this now, we would go out on Fridays, sometimes Friday, but mainly Saturday night. Freaking blow it out, and everything we did that week was gone. You know what I'm saying? We'd start back on Monday. Luckily, we were young and we recouped fast. But if I tried to do that stuff now,
we'd be shot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Unbelievable.
But they were good times, man. I wouldn't have changed nothing for the world.
Absolutely, it was great times. It was really good times. All right, brother. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, though. But whenever you want to get together, you hit me up. Like I tell you, we're all in Orlando. But Miguel and me talk about it all the time. I've tried to do some string texts, but before it was hard because I was traveling so much. That was on me. But now I'm ready to. I'm ready to do whatever you guys want to do, even though every restaurant's closed. But we could just come by you and do whatever the hell you want to do. I am down with.
Yeah, there's not much up here. I'm game with going down town or wherever. Like I said, when we get together, we meet somewhere. And Wally's is back open too.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. And is Thirsty Gator still open too? Tim?
Yes, it is.
I got to go see Tim, man. Maybe that'd be a great place to start off.
Yeah, I was there the last about a month ago before all this crap happened, and he's the same old Tim. Love to see you, man.
Yeah, I'd love to see you. Love to see Tim, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, let's hook up. Let's get a date and go with it when all this clears out.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Man. God bless.
Thank you again. Keep you and your family safe. I know you will.
Yeah.
You're the man I know would. All right, brother. I'll talk to you later. That's what I'm Last time I saw you at Thirsty Gator, you had a knife on the side of your leg. It was this big. You go, CELENZA, and I look over, you going, I knew those arms. I looked at you, and you had a knife that looked like literally Crocodile Dundee. You said, you pulled it out. I'm like, this.
Always prepared, always
Nothing
prepared.
Changes. Nothing changes.
Not to the core.
Nope. You ain't bullshitting. All right, brother. I'll hit you up later. I'm going to end this so we don't lose it. And that's all I got. Thanks again.
Good talking to you, man. Love you. Miss you.
Love you too, brother. All right. Take care.
All right.